Здравствуйте, ребят, девчата, с вами Алекс Хеймот на канале Crow Winterplay. Продолжаем проходить игру Invisible.
Status?
Nothing's changed, Astrogator.
Understood.
I'm leaving the excavation site. How did he come down?
Это игра про космос, что-то тут про какие-то исследования. В общем, прилетели на какую-то планету непонятную. И все пошло по пизде. Кто-то помер, кто-то в каких-то как детей превратился. Вообще непонятно, что-то происходит. Пока что.
I've got Gorski's signal.
So soon? It's unlikely to be him.
Then who?
Not who, but what. It's weird. Dr. Gorski hardly ever parted.
You were correct, sir. It's just our probe. It looks inactive.
Can't be completely broken if he picked up a signal. I'd say it's running in safe mode. Please try to power it on.
Do we have time for this?
It's for a good reason, Doctor. The probe could prove useful in the search. And besides, you'll see.
Okay. I'm opening the probe. Turning the systems on.
No, stop. Wait for my instructions. There's a button on the left side of the fuse box. Hold it, and then turn the dial again. Now go ahead.
Slide records.
Correct.
I didn't know we had access to them.
You couldn't have known. This is not standard procedure. But as they say, extremis malis, extrema remedia.
Let's take a look. Nothing interesting. Should I be looking for a specific location? Date?
The excavation site. 4th day of the mission.
I recognize these structures. This is where they began to dig. Hours passed. 3 crew members are still there. Dr. Gorski must have left already.
We lost contact shortly thereafter.
The probe followed him, and he followed the detector's readings.
Going after those metal structures.
Yes, that's what I meant.
What's next?
Last slide. There's mostly noise.
Nothing in particular stands out to you, Doctor. They were digging and suddenly, poof, people are dead?
No need to shout, Astrogator. I'm just letting you know what I see. That's all. Hang on. An absurdly high electromagnetic field reading.
That's something. Sort of. What are the earlier readings?
Checking. Still high in the slide just before. And earlier, quite normal. It happened in a matter of seconds. But there's nothing except dunes. Sand, a few rocks, a shadow.
Shadow?
Another sandstorm, I guess.
All right, Doctor. Let's move on. You may turn on the fuses now. We'll take the probe with us. radar. Now I can give commands to the probe. And? What do you see? Is it working correctly?
If you run it on manual steering, sir, then it works just fine.
That's exactly what I'm doing. You have a keen eye. I'll put it in auto mode. From now on, it will follow you, Doctor.
Oh, it'd be nice to have some company. I mean, apart from yours, sir.
1 second. That's odd. There's no data in the probe's memory. No ID, no nothing. Do you want to give it a new ID? Name it, basically. After all, it'll be with you for a while. So, what's it going to be?
Huh. A name for the teleprobe. All right. I can think of something.
Copy that. I'm listening.
Please enter Luna. L-U-N-A.
Done. Now, a few more tweaks, and you'll have a flying measurement center at your disposal.
Зачем я вот это взял? Не понял. Бери ее нахуй. Почему нет? Так. А, это зомби, да? Я так думаю, доктор Горский где-то здесь должен быть. Где-то в этом районе, наверное. Куда же мне еще-то идти?
Status? What's new?
Well, nothing really. At least not in the last 5 seconds, sir.
Right. Thank you.
I don't see these metal structures anywhere.
The only surface structure reported was from the excavation area. The rest is underground. Please explore the area thoroughly. Just do as Dr. Gorski. Use the detector.
The detector's measurement is very clear. I'm going...
No crossroads? Branches?
Not yet. Just one thick, tangled vein. Huh. I guess I found the first point.
You guess? We have to be sure, Doctor.
Well, I'm at the first clear branching of these structures, such as reported by Dr. Gorski.
All right. What happened next?
He followed the branch to the right. Another thing he reported was a massive vertical structure.
Право тут, блин, какой правый, какой левый, нахуй, хуй его знает, блин. Как понять-то, блин. Тут вон сколько, вон, который-то из них правый, блин. А?
The probe detected something.
I see that in the readings. What is it exactly?
Well, the structure structure from the notes. It fits the description perfectly. Well done, Luna. I knew I could count on you.
Well, we didn't bring it to the surface for no reason. Even in the first stage procedure.
And now I'm going to apply for my own.
As soon as you find Dr. Gorski, I'll see to it myself. All right, how about that point? What does it look like? What caught the doctor's attention?
It looks like some kind of organic formation. A root system? Maybe these structures have the ability to expand. Somehow.
Shouldn't they be organic then?
Ah, that's the problem. They look organic, but they're not. The next point, the third one, is a metal bundle running along the bottom of some water reservoir.
Interesting. An object as such should be easy to locate.
There's the water.
And the metal bundle?
As expected. It's at the bottom. Before you ask, sir, there's little to say about it.
All right. So how many are left?
2 points. Or at least that's what he told Cobble. What he did next, it's hard to assess.
But the battery and the detector last for only a few hours, so he couldn't have gone much further.
The fourth point is a structure that fills a rock massive, on top of which he found surface structures.
Sounds like a crucial node in this whole system.
Gotcha. I found his tracks. Finally, some tangible evidence that he was going this way.
Good. It's downhill all the way, Doctor.
I wouldn't be so sure, Astrogator. The next point is at a height of approximately 100 meters. Definitely uphill. I think I'll catch up with Dr. Gorski on the other side.
That wouldn't be such a bad scenario, right?
Of course not. I wouldn't mind if we bumped into each other before the climb. I think we have the fourth point. I confirm. It's the fourth one. I see our flag.
Ну и как мне туда залезть? Лава извергается. Там какой проход еще хуй знает.
The structures undergo noticeable changes here. If it keeps growing at this rate, I don't know what I'll find at the end.
What kind of growth are you talking about, Doctor? Depth, width, complexity? complexity level?
In every aspect.
Interesting. Do you think these veins lead somewhere? To something?
I'm leaning more and more towards that conclusion. But I can't tell what we might expect at the end, if it ends at all. Hey, Luna. Whoa, hey, easy there.
Так, куда далече? Ебать, доктор Горский забрался.
The land is departing.
Yes, they're on their way.
What's the plan for the second flight? Same place?
That would work best. Certain, proven. When you and Dr. Gorski come back, I'll send the lander right away.
А может и не отправят. Скажет, ты слишком много знаешь. Оставайся тут на планете. Какой-то мутный он находит, капитан у них. Мне кажется, он предатель. Тот же должен быть предатель.
I've reached the top. The doctor discovered something new from here. Something he called bushes.
Huh. I've heard that term before.
In their conversations between Koval and Gorski.
No, Jasna. You're the one who reported it to me. Right after you landed.
Seriously? Well, I don't see anything like it now, sir. Wait. Koval noted down the parameters. Azimuth 350. Distance 200 meters.
Copy that. I'm sending the probe.
Got it. I see the bushes.
And the doctor?
Hard to tell. Visibility is poor. It's gonna be harder than before. I don't know how the doctor...
When it comes to finding a safe route, there won't be a problem. But you'll have to get there on your own 2 feet.
I suppose the probe will carry out the first task. It's capable yet?
Of course. I set the environment analysis mode. The probe will calculate the best route between your location and your destination. It'll guide you along the defined path. The calculations will only take a moment.
Что мне делать, ждать? Здорово.
Hi, Luna. Lead the way. I must say, it's a clever device, this probe of ours. It don't fly for this long.
Yes. Longer than you can stand on your feet.
Sounds like the perfect research unit. Maybe even better than a human.
Well, let's not exaggerate.
Of course, I wasn't being serious. However helpful they may be, they're still just tools in the hand of man, often faulty.
Сюда?
Oh, we have a problem.
Something serious?
I already mentioned the faulty machines, right? Well, the route determined by the algorithm goes over a chasm.
I can repeat the command.
No. I'll go around.
Unfortunately, this is an outdated model. Such mistakes are inevitable. But the perception module itself has already been greatly improved. Its accuracy increases exponentially.
Exponentially? Can you imagine us, proteinaceous creatures, developing so quickly, sir?
No, not in the course of evolution. You can't perfect a person like that.
That's right, you can't. We wait thousands of years for visible changes.
Oh, have you started to fear for your position?
Well, everything indicates that the clear distinction between humans and robots will soon disappear.
And then what?
Well, if we assume that they'll surpass us, things will get complicated. Because in order to program a brain with computing power equal to that of a human, you need a brain with computing power higher than that of a human. Ergo, a man cannot make a machine smarter than a man.
Then who else would design it?
Self-learning algorithms? Some spontaneous process? Or pure chaos? Something inhuman, that's for sure. Shh, Astrogator. Can you hear that?
What am I supposed to be hearing?
That's the point. Nothing. Silence. We're talking about robots, and Dr. Gorski still hasn't spoken on the channel.
Well, I don't know. He must be a long way from here.
Там какой-то горячий воздух впереди, что ли? Смотри, да?
These bushes are kind of weird.
You better stay away, Doctor. I'd like a brief description. Just keep a distance.
Allow me to use the language I would use to describe living forms, sir.
Of course.
So they look like pituitary, brush-like formations. They grow out of cracks in the bare rock. They're high, more or less, from 1 to several meters. They can be singular, though in some locations they create a uniform thicket that covers the walls of the ravine in a rusty brush-like layer. That's how it looks, to put it briefly.
Would you also venture to guess their significance? Some function, purpose?
Staying on the topic of biological analogies, these bushes remind me of corals, in a purely visual category, because they're far from marine organisms. So I would guess that these are colonial structures, perhaps rock-forming ones. However, their main structure has nothing to do with corals. No noticeable mesenchymal tissues, no nidocyst, matocyst, or spirocyst. No visible oral discs.
Yeah, all right, Doctor. I didn't ask for a marine biology lecture.
Astrogator, Gorski's not here. I'm afraid he continued to explore. And if he went where I think he did, he might have lost contact with the camp as well as Dragonfly.
So we will most likely lose contact too.
Possibly. Well, there's only one way to be certain. It's your decision, sir.
Please continue your search. We have to find him.
That's the unwritten rule, isn't it? Under no circumstances do we leave anyone behind.
That's right, Doctor. You would lose everything else, but you have to have the crew on board. The living and the dead. This is one of the most crucial imperatives. Doctor.
The line's breaking up, but I understood. I'll let you know, sir, when I come out of the tunnel.
прочитать опять воспоминания.
Altitude 24,000. Speed 250. No sleep, Hopper. Already at 12,000. Throttle down. 30 seconds till touchdown. Everything's looking good. Over?
Roger that. All systems work.
Altitude 5,000. Ignition tech is sensible. I record data dropout, but otherwise still looking good. Entering final descent.
Copy. Entering final. Hopper has landed. I repeat, Hopper has landed. Astrogator, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Any side effects? Landing wasn't too hard on you?
All good? Spine still in one piece. No signs of overstrain. Not even shortness of breath.
Perfect. Hopefully the hike to camp goes just as smoothly.
I'm going outside.
Visibility?
100%. The dust has already settled. Huh. I've located the second lander. Our people are still on this planet.
Ah, very good. I was afraid they might try to fly off, which wouldn't be the best idea given the loss of communication with Dragonfly.
Sir, something's wrong.
What is it?
The hatch is half open. Did they report hydraulics failure?
How should I know? You were the last person in contact with the crew doctor.
Right. I'm inside.
And? How is it?
Even if they wanted to, they couldn't go back to Dragonfly. Their lander looks damaged, to put it mildly. Or more accurately, it seems like a storm has passed through it.
Understood. I mean, I don't understand how it happened. But that means...
Hopper is the only vehicle that can take us home. Affirmative.
Right. Well, then we can't afford another mistake. I'm taking the lander into orbit. I'll send it directly to the camp as soon as we find a suitable landing zone.
Astrogator, I don't know what we expected. Coming here at the end of our expedition. The equipment is barely working. If it works at all. And you, sir. You barely escaped alive. Okay, I admit that we have a very successful campaign behind us. But I feel like we've used up all our luck. And now, we're asking for trouble. It's just one planet too many for us.
Which doesn't change the fact we're here. Let's focus on completing this mission. There won't be another.
It better be that way. We have the right to come home at last.
I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with such a law. But there is one thing I can refer to when we find ourselves in a difficult situation. If the continuation of the mission endangers the lives of the crew, the provisions of the imprimis homini law apply. First and foremost, the safety of people is what matters.
It's good to know we have this right, but I wish we didn't have to use it. Whoa. Damn. You were right, Cobble. It's beautiful here.
Да, классно. Но я бы не хотел там оказаться. Что-то Тут какие-то текстуры, половина прогружены, половина не прогружены. Тут камни какие-то, они как не прогруженные выглядят, да? Вот эти вот прогруженные. Песок вроде тоже тут прогружен, например. Часть камней есть, часть вон нету. Какие-то они странные текстуры, нахуй.
I have an object in sight. This is where they searched the ocean's biocenosis.
Meaning... Oh, where they caught that fish, right?
Yeah. They stopped here first, then walked along the coastline northward.
Correct. But I think you might consider taking a shortcut towards the east, straight to the camp.
Copy that. Heading east.
Восток отсюда, он, да? Пойдем на восток. А я лицом на север типа стоял, что ли? Как тут понять, как я стою, куда? А, ну вон, да. Ну, кажется, так повернусь. Да, разворачиваюсь. Так, сейчас на север. Почти. Ну, короче, сюда вот надо.
They stopped for a break.
How do you know? Are there any signs of the crew?
I found a cigarette butt and a pack. Someone was smoking here,
So, they didn't give a damn about the regulations.
disrupting the ecosystem.
That's not the point. I understand you want to minimize the effects of our interference here, Doctor, but the mission's safety is at stake. I don't think I have to explain to you the dangers of igniting a dusty atmosphere. Preserving the integrity of Regis 3's already extinct ecosystem is not a priority in this scenario. Negligible, actually.
Security procedures exist for humans. The rule of integrity is for the sake of everything alien to us. We shouldn't place one above the other.
What are you saying, Yasna? The mission and the safety of our people have the highest priority. Always.
Always? Are we really that self-righteous?
Of course, Doctor. We must be the most important to ourselves. And they must be the most important to themselves. Whoever they will be. In the end, the strongest will survive. Isn't that how evolution works?
Not in a biological sense, Astrogator. Besides, I'm not convinced if we should interfere with everything alien to us just because we can.
Doctor, interference is at the heart of human nature. Man would still be a monkey if he'd only looked at trees instead of cutting them down.
Yes, we have a nasty nature. I can't argue with that. Can you please confirm that I'm on the correct route?
Yes, I confirm. This rate will reach the camp within an hour.
This path is not the easiest one. Oh, but at least I'm moving onwards.
At the military academy, they used to say that difficult routes lead us the farthest. Well, hopefully not too far. You still have to come back.
Are you trying to motivate me, sir?
Of course.
I appreciate the, effort. What is this? Astrogator, I found a peculiar inorganic structure. It looks like some spiky metal growths.
Это где?
Artificial plants? Is spontaneous growth possible with this type of structure?
Oh, I've never seen anything like this. I wish I had time to run some tests.
When the situation is stabilized, we will take samples. I promise.
Oh, I feel nauseous. Suddenly.
Please don't push it. Been on the surface just under half an hour.
That's not it. I feel darkness. Hang on.
Yes, no? Everything's all right?
Yes, yes. I just need a moment to think.
As soon as you find something,
I'll report it. No worries, sir. Are you there? Over. I guess that's a no.
breathe!
What's going on, sir? Astrogator?
Dr. Yasna, I tried to resuscitate him, but
No, please. Koval?
Dr. Crompton,
How? There was nothing wrong with him.
hypothalamic shock. He bled out during the flight.
I still don't understand. He wasn't hurt.
His injuries must have occurred later. I found him like this when I entered Holter.
I can't believe it. It was that damn robot. He must have dropped the doctor. Killed him.
No, Yasna, I, as commander, misjudged the situation. Everything indicates that the doctor had an accident after he left the camp on his own. I should have known he was endangering himself.
I confirm. Gorski was here. His rope is still hanging from the slope.
That's a good sign. Since he left it, he intends to come back this way.
But why hasn't he yet? Going down after him. Tell me one thing, sir. What did you do with Crowter's body?
I placed him in a cryo chamber.
Are you going to use a grave tapper?
Yes, I'm considering that as a possibility. What is your... Just a report.
One sec. Oh, I'm at the end of the rope.
Isn't that good?
Not at all.
What do you mean?
I'm stuck. I'm hanging with all my weight on the rope, away from the wall. There's still a fair few meters left to the ground.
Can you go back?
Using just my hands, strapped with all this extra weight? No, not a chance.
What if you sway?
I can just jump off.
Is that safe?
A substantial fall on unsteady ground. This is hardly a maneuver that I would describe as safe.
So let's take a moment to analyze the situation.
I'm thinking, if Gorski went down this way and didn't break anything...
Yeah, we don't know that, Yasna. He could keep going even with injuries.
All right, so do you have another idea? Oh, will I be hanging like this until the end of time itself?
There is a certain possibility, or rather uncertain, but maybe it's worth trying.
I'm listening.
Can you see the probe?
Yes. It's flying near me.
Good. If I instructed it to fly as close as possible to you, you could grab onto it.
You sure it will hold me?
That I cannot guarantee.
All right, let's give it a try.
I'm entering the instruction. You must guide me.
One meter forward. It's still too far.
I'll try 1 more meter then. Is that the maneuver control?
You could say so. I fell from a lower height. It was a soft landing, though.
Теперь что, зонд расхерачили, наверное. Будет глючить нахуй.
We had our last contact with Regis a few minutes after noon. Even then, Dr. Gorski was walking alone.
Damn. This place is amazing. It's all made up of these structures. Except they don't look like creations of nature anymore.
Maybe that's why Dr. Gorski, not to mention the Alliance.
Well, if we're looking for something on this planet, this could be it. These structures form entire multi-story complexes. They look like a city.
Are you saying that...
No. There's no point in jumping to conclusions yet. Are you receiving a signal?
What signal?
From Dr. Gorski.
No, none. Why are you asking?
He tried to open up a connection, set up a transmitter.
There's nothing on the comms, but I'll check the record history. Please give me a moment.
Dr. Gorski set up the flags.
So, he kept going, despite the lack of communication with the rest.
You'd have to see it with your own eyes, sir. This place. Gorski may have lost himself in his discovery.
Are you joking, Doctor? Lost himself, Gorski. He may not have respect for the unknown, but he has his feet firmly on the ground.
I think he must have discovered something. And since he suffers from excessive ambition, he's capable of stupid acts in the name of a breakthrough.
Well, I admit, that sounds more like him. You must trace his steps, Doctor.
I'm working on it. Left or right?
Да хуй знает, бля, пошли налево. Здесь ближе.
All right. I'll squeeze through the passage.
2 more hours.
Huh?
That's all Gorski has left of oxygen, at best.
And at worst?
He's just finishing it up. Though it all depends on his activity.
If I remember correctly, the atmosphere here is breathable.
Basically, yes. Dr. Krauser, however, warned that the methane content...
I know. But the effects won't be immediate. That gives us a few extra hours. These constructions don't have a clear division into functions. They're huge, complicated, and uniform at the same time.
Do you have any idea where all this could have come from? I'm aware without tests you can't do much. But let's say on first inspection.
It's hard for me to imagine that any biological forms could survive here. The interiors of these structures are filled to the brim with wires and rods. So maybe this metal builds up somehow, by itself.
Oh. You've already said something similar before. Just after landing, when you found those bushes.
Yes, right. I've gone over everything in that area. Ah, I see the probe. Has it found anything?
It's not making any measurements at the moment.
Oh, why?
The overload protection is activated. Until I do a reset, it's on manual control.
Is it because of my flight?
It's possible, but please don't worry about it. What matters is that you're fine.
The security system seems quite flawed.
It's not a defect, Doctor. It's a feature.
Wouldn't it be better if I helped you? I can close it manually after all.
I'd need some directions first. To bring it to you.
No problem. I'm on it.
First, let's find a place where I can land it. Otherwise, you won't be able to help me, Doctor.
Вот сюда.
There. I found the right place.
All right, then. I'm waiting for instructions.
Let's see. Rotate the probe 120 degrees. Okay, now. "10 meters forward." No, sorry, I misjudged. Please pull back. So, 45 degrees to the left, and full steam ahead. Stop. Now, rotate 45 degrees to the right. 2 meters forward.
Какую хуйню тут придумали? 2 метра вперед, туда, блядь. Я откуда знаю, сколько тут метров, блядь. Тут что, видно, что ли, нахуй? Что делать?
How's the terrain? Those structures, are they still everywhere?
Yep, wherever I look, there's metal.
Я его ремонтирую, что ли? Чё я вот делаю-то? Путем энергии на него воздействие, что ли, это? Как экстрасенс? Че делать ты?
Oh, don't be angry.
It's not anger, it's a warning sign.
I know, I know. You're welcome, Luna. It's a bit like Pando.
What? I've no idea what you're talking about, Doctor.
A colony of populous tremoloids. American aspen. The new trees grow not from seeds, but from root suckers of old trees. As a result, it's one giant organism, thousands of years old.
So you're in a dead metal forest.
Huh, that does sound bizarre. Though maybe.
Doctor, something has been recorded after all. But there are plenty of errors in the transmission header. It's hard to say whether this is a message from Gorski.
Well then, sir, play it. Maybe we'll finally find out what's going on with the doctor.
Let's hope so.
Gorski to base. I repeat, this is Gorski. Base, come in.
No doubt. It's him. Well, let's keep listening. But as soon as you report anything, Doctor, I'll stop the recording.
Bugger. No confirmation again. I report. I've made an amazing discovery. Geometric structures that a thicket of bushy, pointed rods and slats. Mostly, but not only, molybdenum, carbon, tungsten. Altogether similar to a giant integrated circuit. A million swarm of tangled cables. Not a trace of electric current, polarity, not even residual magnetism. Maybe once upon a time, centuries ago, petawatts or exawatts of power flowed this way. To compare with something, it's probably a machine. Some kind of information collective structure. Maybe it was some kind of electronic brain. It makes me think of the Lyrans. A race of extinct sentient beings. Supposedly, they knew about light astrogation before we invented the wheel. They had to save themselves from the explosion of Nova. They sent ships. The remains of those ships have been found, ashed to a chip glued together. I've seen hypothetical schematics. The structures here remind me of those. Okay, moving on. Readings.
Well, that's it. What follows is just a humming noise. Any thoughts, Doctor?
So far, it all leads to one conclusion. This is not a place for a man, nor for any humanoids.
Then who is it for?
Maybe it's really an alien technology. Those Lyrans.
As far as I know, all information about the Lyran civilization is just guesswork. Many consider Lyrans to be just a myth, so I wouldn't take it too seriously.
Well, I think there might be something to it.
By the way, you were right, Doctor. Gorski did lose himself in his discovery, in spite of everything.
I can see the relay up close. Looks broken. This is starting to look like a deliberate diversion to me.
You may be right. The question is, who's behind all these disruptive activities?
That I don't know, sir. There are more traces, this time handprints, and a drop detector.
What? Did I hear you right?
Yes, sir, you heard correctly. I'm afraid we must be ready for any eventuality.
Well, that doesn't mean we should assume the worst. I still believe you'll find him, Doctor.
Бэт лабиринт целый нахуй. Ой, блядь.
Jasna, what is it?
I took a shortcut.
On purpose?
Not really.
Тут вообще что-то ничего не прорисовано, блин. Так, куда мне? Че? Как бы сюда?
I found something. Again.
I'm listening.
I suspect Gorski might have damaged his suit.
If the tear doesn't exceed 20 millimeters, the reactive polymer layers will self-seal.
Well, that's true. Nevertheless, it looks worse and worse. I found more of his gear.
Back in the camp, you reported Marrett's abandoned things.
A backpack and a journal, yes. This scene looks disturbingly similar. Finally! I have his position. Not yet. Gorski, are you here? It's me, Jasna.
Still nothing.
Yeah. I found his backpack. You know what that means, sir?
Yes, he's without oxygen. We must hurry.
Almost there. Oh, there he is. I see. Got him. He's not moving. Gorski! Gorski! Look at me! His eyes are closed.
Is he breathing?
He's alive, but barely.
Did he react in any way?
No reaction. He seems unconscious. Gorski! Come on!
Calm down, Doctor. Get him out of there. The pro's already looking for a landing zone.
Okay. Let me just... I'm pulling him
Еще провалиться надо оба.
out. Done. He's out. I activated his SOS. You should pick up a transmission with his parameters, sir. Well?
No, nothing. The transmitter in the suit must be too weak.
Should I retrieve his booster from the backpack?
No point. Better to set up a relay. We have to do it anyway so that Hopper can land in this maze. Have a preliminary scan of your surroundings. There's an open area nearby. You have to move Gorski there. The probe will guide you.
Okay, I'll carry him. It's just... his parameters don't look too good.
That's why we must hurry, Doctor. Are you out in the open already?
Sort of. Yes.
Once you set up the transmitter, I should start receiving Gorski's signal.
А как?
There it is. Pulse, heart rate, saturation, almost within the range. Now, mark the place for the lander. And we're home, Doctor.
I'm on it.
What was that?
I don't know. Everything is shaking. No! No! I caught the probe. I'm... Fuck! I'm flying.
What's the situation?
What was that? Astrogator, I'm underground. It's hard to determine my exact location. Novik, do you copy? Base, come in. I'm sending an SOS. Anyone, please. Okay. Stay calm. Just keep it together. Heartbeats racing. But saturation hasn't dropped below the tissue norm. Not yet, at least.
Да. Так, ладно, давайте, ребята, девчата, на этом закончим. Всем пока, увидимся в следующей серии.